in the room. I feel you. God moved us into a great house, and when the flood hit, we had never hit our subdivision before. But when that water got about a foot from the door, you talking about moving furniture and moving stuff and saying we'll go upstairs. God has a way of putting us in situations where humanly it is impossible for us to do. I believe that's the address for the church today. It's not about how many in the seats anymore. It's about, can we still do what God says he's going to do through us? That you got to know that on the journey with Abraham and Sarah, they lost some stuff. You're not talking, but I know you're thinking, didn't Lot start out with them, but Lot couldn't continue to go with them? There are times that you might lose who is close to you, but sometimes who's close to you can't go with you. And Abraham and Sarah had to keep moving, but every now and then they did pray for Lot. These same angels that show up don't just show up for them, but some kind of way they'll get to Lot. This tells us about human impossibility. In verse 1, the Bible says that Abraham is at a certain location at his tent, and he's at the feet in front of his tent looking out. Can you imagine this could be like a big screen TV, and he's sitting out there looking and believing God is still going to do something. Sarah, in her setting, in her condition, is in the back of the tent. Don't look at this as some small tent. Look at this as a large tent, because by this time, God has expanded their territory. Can you imagine? Here you have a pastor sitting at the tent, still waiting on God, and many people that are in the tent don't believe God is still coming. And he's sitting there watching and flipping the screens and checking a certain channel. Sisters, you know what we do. And we checking the channel to see what game is on. Maybe the Cowboys or maybe the Texans. It don't matter because neither one of them going to win. But we sitting there watching and hoping God is going to send us. Well, we got to give credit to the Astros. And we sitting there and watching and waiting on God. And yet the reality that we must discover first is that they're at the right place. The right place in verse 1 tells us the city and the town, the location is Mamre. And the term Mamre in Hebrew means strength and fat. It tells us that even when you're dry and tired, God got you at the right place. Can I get you to touch a neighbor? They might not want to be touched. We're not trying to test your breath this morning. If we don't believe you got a virus, but we want some participate, touch a neighbor. You're at the right place. You're at the right place. Touch them. And tell a neighbor, if you want to be prophetic, brother, you look fat. You look fat. You look fat. Not F-A-T fat as in weight, but you look prosperous. And you look like God is going to do something for you. Somebody say, I'm fat. You fat now. I bet you're fat now. Because when you look at it, he's saying, though we're older, we're in a place of success. Can I get about 15 people that say, I'm in the right place? I'm at first met early this morning, and God is blessing my life. I'm fat. My pocketbook is fat. My house is fat. My children are fat. My job is fat. Matter of fact, I'm finna retire. And when I retire, I'm fat. Memory, be careful not thanking God for where you are. And after all God has brought you through, don't get too comfortable with where you are and not know that God brought you to a place that it looks like nothing else is going to work. But when God shows up, you look fat. Successful, prosperous. They're older, but they're still stronger. When you see this text in the reality, they're at the right place, verse 1. And Dr. Carr, I know I got to be theologically sound. And the Bible says he's watching the big screen TV, and 3 angels show up. Be careful being quiet when the Lord shows up. The angels show up, so it tells us that in this movement, you need angelic assistance. Nephew, listen well. We're moving to a time that people better get spiritual. We're moving to a season where radical faith must be addressed. We're moving to a season that your human flesh, your intellect, and your pocketbook can't help you like it used to. We all need angelic assistance. Well, I can't get much help, so let me call on the angels from the east, the west, the north, and the south. God, dispatch your angels to this location for every member, every person, every service, every house. You can't take the preacher home, but it don't mean God won't send his angel to your home. Can I get somebody right now to say, angels, show up at my house right now. I need you to show up. I need you to bless my health. I need you to bless my children. I need you to bless my life. And God will send to you what you need. Can I tell you something? 3 angels, but we believe and believe and believe and believe one is Jesus Christ. You didn't shout earlier, but you ought to be excited that whoever shows up, Christ is in the midst. He shows up, and they come to his assistance. He says to them, between verse 1 and 3, going to verse 4 and 5, he noticed they are there. He jumps up immediately in the presence of the divine. He moves immediately in the presence of the supernatural. He moves immediately without asking for help. Help shows up. He moves immediately because even when you think you're in a drought, God is always there. And he jumps up, he goes to them, and he says, hey, well, listen, thank you for coming. Lord, if I find any favor from you, can you at least show back up? Can you do something? Whatever you're going to do, I'm just glad you show up. He says this term, I want y'all to hear this. He said, may you look on your servant with favor. Can I pause for a moment? I'm teaching some in my church, and I pray you receive this, that sometimes favor, it might not be on you, but favor could be on who you follow. That's all right. That's all right. Favor might not really be on you, but favor can be on who you follow. And the problem that many of us don't see, that if Abraham and Sarah is blessed, everybody in the tent is blessed. Everybody that's attached to them is blessed. Everybody, come on, keep flipping on and out. That let me know God is working in this place. Can I get some help up in here? So I don't even have to be the pastor's assistant, but if I'm in the house, I'm going to get blessed too. I ain't even got to know the first lady phone number, but if I'm in the house, touch yourself, say, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Tell somebody I'm blessed, because if favor is on them, favor is on me. Can I tell you something? The only reason I'm here today is because favor was on them, and they shared favor with me. Yeah. He quickly goes and he